I came across this post on Facebook in the Z6, Z7 users group. This operator has a problem getting their firmware updated in their camera, and it looks like, according to the post, they're having computer problems, not camera problems. So we'll talk about what needs to be done to get the firmware file downloaded and put on an SD card. Okay, so here behind the scenes, I'm going to plug in an SD card, and we're going to go to Google, and let's presume he has a Nikon Z6 firmware download. This would work with any of the Nikon, the Z50, Z7 II, doesn't matter. So we have Z6 Nikon Download Center. So let's go here, and you can see there's your firmware selection. Let's click it, and here's one that came out November 10th of 21, version 3.40. Let's go to download page. We're running a Windows system, so let's leave that default. If you want, you can go through some of the previous versions, changes from the last version, etc., etc. Right now we want to accept the terms and download the file. It's gonna, if you have it set up right, it's gonna ask you where. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to make a folder for it. I'm going to drop it in. Then I'm going to go to my folder, Icon Firmware, and he says when I click on it, it does nothing. Okay, let me find it back. Okay, so here we have it in the download folder, and we're going to double click it, and it doesn't look like it does anything, but what it does do, it unpacks. It creates a directory with the file inside the directory in the same directory or the same folder. I'm a little old school, that this executable is in. So we're going to open that up, and we'll highlight the bin file. This is your firmware update. Right click it, copy, and let's go to the Nikon SD card. Right click and paste. So now the bin file is in the root folder of the SD card that we're going to put in the camera. We don't know how to do the camera update. Nikon Z6 firmware update. And here's one from Jennifer Nicole. I've already shared that with one other.
What's up, guys? So today we're going to update the firmware in our Z6. Then just drag the bin folder onto.
She's basically telling you everything.
Your XD card. So we were on Format Memory Card under the wrench. All you have to do is press up, and it goes straight to firmware version.
So I really recommend
all you have to do is
that you go and view her video on how to do the firmware update side. I really recommend you go to her webpage on YouTube, Jennifer Nicole, and follow her instructions on, once you put the SD card in, how to follow the menus on your Nikon camera and do your firmware update.